Inside each of us, there is a longing. Sometimes we feel restless, like something is missing. This is how the story of the prodigal son begins, a young man at home, yet not satisfied. He dreams of adventures far away. Like him, we want to see new places, to make our own choices, to be free, but this longing can lead us away from those who love us most. The journey of the prodigal son starts with a restless heart, a heart longing for more. The story, found in Luke chapter 15, verses 11 and 12, begins, "There was a man who had 2 sons. The younger one said to his father, 'Father, give me my share of the estate.' So he divided his property between them. The son's request was bold. He wanted his share now, not later. He wanted to live life his own way. With a heavy heart, the father agreed. He gave his son what he asked for. Soon after, the young man gathered everything he owned and left for a distant country. He was eager to taste freedom. He imagined a life with no limits or worries. Sometimes leaving home is not just about a place. It is leaving behind wisdom, guidance, and love. We often think we know best. We walk away from God's care, sure that we can handle life alone. The son left searching for happiness, but he left behind what he needed most. Every journey starts with one step. The young man took his, but he did not know how hard the road would become. We too can step away from God, sometimes by accident, sometimes on purpose. But the Father's heart always aches when his children walk away. The prodigal son arrived in a new land, pockets full and spirits high. The world seemed brighter and more exciting. He spent his wealth quickly, enjoying every pleasure he could find. Parties, friends, and laughter filled his days. For a while, he felt alive. Many people look for happiness in the wrong places. They chase after money, fame, or thrills. They believe these things will make them happy. But just like the son, they soon discover that these joys do not last. The world's promises are empty, and its happiness fades away. Luke chapter 15, verse 13 says, "There he squandered his wealth in wild living." The young man's search for joy led him further from home. Each new experience left him emptier than before. The more he tried to fill his heart, the more lost he became. It is easy to lose our way when we turn from God. The world offers quick fixes, but not true peace. The prodigal son learned this lesson. We too must learn that real joy is not found in distant places, but in the Father's embrace. As quickly as the good times began, they ended. The young man's money ran out. His friends left him. A famine swept the land, and he found himself alone and hungry. The world that once seemed so full of promise now felt cold and empty. Luke chapter 15, verses 14 through 16 says, "After he had spent everything, there was a severe famine in that whole country, and he began to be in need. So he went and hired himself out to a citizen of that country, who sent him to his fields to feed pigs. He longed to fill his stomach with the pods that the pigs were eating, but no one gave him anything. The son's disappointment was deep. He had lost everything: money, friends, and hope. He had traded the comfort of home for a life of hardship. His search for happiness had only brought pain. He was lost, more lost than ever before. In life, we all face disappointment. Sometimes we think we can find peace without God, but sooner or later we realize the world cannot give us what we need. The son's story is our story. We chase happiness only to find disappointment waiting for us. The prodigal son's lowest moment became a turning point. Alone and hungry, he remembered his father's house. Luke says, when he came to his senses, he said, "How many of my father's servants have food, and here I am starving?" Admitting we are wrong is not easy. It takes courage to face our mistakes. But he did not give up. He decided to return, hoping for mercy. Like the Son, we find hope when we turn our hearts back to the Father. As the Son began his journey home, he was filled with fear and hope. He wondered if his Father would accept him. He knew he did not deserve kindness. His clothes were ragged, and his heart was heavy. Yet he longed for home more than anything. Every step was hard. He remembered the warmth of his Father's house, the meals, the laughter, and the peace. He remembered being loved, even when he did not deserve it. The memories gave him strength to keep walking. Many people feel afraid to return to God. They think their mistakes are too great. They wonder if God will welcome them or turn them away. But like the prodigal son, hope grows stronger than fear. The thought of love is greater than the shame of failure. Luke chapter 15 verse 20 says, "So he got up and went to his father." Sometimes the hardest part is turning around. But the journey home is always possible. No one is ever too far gone for the Father's love. The Son's journey home was a journey of humility. He did not expect to be treated as a son. He was willing to be a servant. All he wanted was a place in his Father's house. His pride was gone, replaced by a deep need for grace. As he walked, he practiced his apology. "Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son." These words from Luke chapter 15, verse 21, were not just words. They were the truth of his heart. He was sorry for all he had done, yet hope pushed him forward. Maybe, just maybe, his father would show mercy. Maybe there was still a place for him at home. The son did not know what would happen, but he took the risk. He trusted that love could be greater than anger or disappointment. All of us have moments when we need to humble ourselves. Pride keeps us away from God, but humility opens the door to forgiveness. The journey back is never easy, but it is always worth it. The most beautiful moment of the story comes next. While the son was still far off, his father saw him and was filled with compassion. He ran to his son, threw his arms around him, and kissed him. The son said, "Father, I have sinned and am no longer worthy to be called your son." But the father did not let him finish. He called, "Quick, bring the best robe, a ring, and sandals. Let's have a feast and celebrate. My son was lost and is found." The father's welcome was full of love and joy. His forgiveness was complete. The story of the prodigal son is a story of hope. It reminds us that no one is ever too far from God. No matter what we have done, the Father waits with open arms. His love is patient and kind. He forgives, restores, and celebrates every child who returns. Life can lead us far from home. We make mistakes. We search for happiness in the wrong places. But the Father never gives up on us. He watches, waits, and longs for our return. When we take even one step toward him, he runs to meet us. This story is for all who feel lost, ashamed, or alone. It is for anyone who wants to start over. The Father's house is always open. His heart is always ready to forgive. All we need to do is turn back and say, "Father, I am home." Let these words from Luke chapter 15, verse 24 encourage you. "For this son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found." There is always hope. The Father's love will never fail.